Okay, so I'm gonna talk, I guess, a little bit more about this game because I skipped. I got my hourly realm token up to 9.2 an hour by upgrading. So if I, oh wait. Now I got some more, I blended some more of the cheaper NFTs. I didn't buy packs because they were already expensive, but the cheaper NFTs that you can blend, and it doesn't cost any of the utility token to do the blend on Nifty Blocks, which is connected to the Wax Cloud wallet. So it was like 8.8, and then this went up from 4.4 to 4.8, and now it's 9.2. When I said this game is communism before, or globalism, part of it has to do with the fact that the missions get easier after you fail them, but also there is the fact that you can slowly earn up, or you can buy in. So if you don't get if you start out with cheap NFTs, you can slowly upgrade them by getting experience points. That's the differential. Experience points versus just blending, and that way increasing your hourly. So there's two ways to come at it, you know. Of course, it's going to take time to build up, and then this also the concept of seasons ending, right? It's protected against botting because you can't just make 1,000 different accounts to do this. You have to actually buy the NFTs, and then if you bought it, if you set up to a bot, it'll run until the end of the season, but then I guess you have to start over. It's kind of so that way there's not too many coins in circulation than people actually had in mind or intent to try to use for the utility. That's kind of like, you see what I'm saying? Just going with it, like communism. But now, if I look at some of these missions, right, it's like, you're not really doing anything to save the world. You're just doing the same shit. Like, I'll send assassins over here because there's some hostile targets, right? And then you would you grab your leader NFT. You have leaders and workers. So as many workers as you have, even if you have one of each, there's going to be reason to have more, because when they open up the whole world, you might want to have the same kind of worker being trained in two different training camps, in two different. And then the reason to have more leaders is because by blending them up to hourly, but you also you need to put one in these levels, like to do the missions. So to do the missions, you need a cheap level NFT. Just if you want to play for free, they give you a worker that is a versatile worker, you know, but he's not the preferred worker for the job. As far as this, you do need a leader. So you need like a leader. So it's kind of like botting is resistant to botting. You know what I mean? So in that sense, communism has saved NFTs, and NFTs is really you know how I'm saying, like they always tell you, is that the truest form of communism has never been. Like the reason it hasn't worked yet is because the real communism has not been implemented. But only place you can implement it would be an enclosed ecosystem, or on a chain, like a network. You know, like they're enclosed ecologies on a chain that are, it's not enclosed. Like there's some in and out activity. There's some directions, like trying to uh, make a buoyant ecology or something out of all the enclosed micro ecologies. Big words. Okay, whatever. Okay, crap. Enough of your crap. Fancy book learning. Crap, get it out of here. You think you're a schmert? You think you're a smirt or schmert guy? Huh? Cool guy? What's going on? No. The cool guy actually gets under my skin. You didn't call me cool guy. I'll throw off my vibe. So, let's see. I mean, like, okay, what is the specific function of the leaders matter as much as the workers? Like, I would say the workers is more specific as far as getting, but you can just upgrade any leader. You know, it might be a little weird to throw like a pacifist in to try to quell hostile targets in wars or something like a fire. You know what I mean? But you can use him. It doesn't have any buffs. The buffs are in the little equipment add-ons, which similar to Office Land IO. But Office Land IO, I think, is a little bit more of a dark horse that's gonna come along after. And this one is something that I was like, didn't want to hear about. I didn't want to know this game exists. But I'm more, I guess, like I'm afraid not to play it because of what it could do. You know, as far as the token economy and the gamification model and partnerships and everything. There's thousands of NFTs, like thousands. So it's let's see, Realm is, makes me feel like it's gonna be closely affiliated with some other projects that are in the uplift arena. Like there's other coins, like token economies, like Stonkers and Blue Dak and Shippletopia, like a lot of little, they haven't take off, you know what I mean? Like they're just, these are maybe resilient or lasting coins that don't really have any liquidity, but they don't die, you know what I mean? And they're just like it's gonna be some of the metaversal type of things that are gonna be utility when they're scalable. You know, they're trying to at the same time make scalable ecosystems. They have to make the blockchain also scalable or something like that. And I mean, that could be up to that's where governance comes in, because anybody could lose interest in a project and be like, we're not going to develop on this anymore. We want things to be open source. Then you need the governance power, voting power of the governance, and included in the utility of the token eco, yada yada. Just a smart guy. I'm just thinking, somebody like maybe I could wrap up my thoughts a little bit better. So there's like, if you grow the storage vault, then you can hold more resources so that when you turn the game off, it's still running, then it can fill up with more resources, right? Or you can upgrade the factory so that you make resources faster, upgrade housing so that you can have these guys being made constantly until you run out of resources, and then they'll stop. when it stops, you have to actually manually resume. So it will stop and then fill up with resources again, so that when you start, after if you left it alone for a whole day, you'd be able to get a lot done really quick. And that is for like people who want more potency of like owning the NFTs, I think. Or I mean, that's just a general strategy, right? I really don't know how good this worker, let's see, helper, called helper. Where is he at? Oh, he's not in my equipment because you can't buy him. He's the free one. I'll show you where he is at. He would be in here. So I gotta stop. No, wait, I'll go to another one. I got everybody building right now. I don't want to stop any. I take one out of here, and then he would be in there. And then his strength as far as like, okay, let's show you. Political protests. He doesn't have a plus sign, but he would still get a little bit. Like 2 plus signs is like the most preferred, I guess. So when you add one of these, like the percentage goes up, that success. So if you were adding workers, you might need a lot. So then, but the thing is, you can easily get these leaders. Like every time you increase their experience, their team size, the amount that they can facilitate grows. So you can get your team size up like really easily. I have one down here that's 50. I don't really use him that much. He was a common card. This is the cheaper one, right? But just I started out with using him. So he's up to 50 on like the first couple of hours that I was on this game. You see where I'm going with this? Why it's communistic? Because in like I wouldn't say that you're gonna start taking $20 a day, like kind of that kind of shit. You know what I mean? But you can set everything up to where it could be worth a couple of dollars a day if you're in one of those places where it's hard to get bank, like, or you know, get like, employment or something like that. I'm not saying that they're poor, but they're not banked. Like sometimes there's resources to people who are not banked, where it only seems like they're poor, but they're not really poor. You know what I mean? It's like they don't have to spend as much money on gimmicky shit that you just feel like you need to facilitate a persona look, or that's like a, you know, like most people have shoes. Like we have changed a little bit from where if you were gonna like have a show or something where you give consultation or something, there would be like shoes behind you, like in a slots or in a, like stacked up to where like all these shoes. And some of the bloggers have shoes behind them. It's like, what's going on with this shoe shit? It's like in the past it would be like a bookshelf or something, and so like people would be like, oh yeah, that means that they're cooking gas, jamming. All right, so his productivity is slowing down because I'm running out of resources now. 50 people, I can get some missions done, and then that's cool because then I can finish this video. I want to show someone how political protests, lawyers. So 23%, 12 people. It's not a bad deal because even though it's just a small percent, I'm just gonna make it easier for the next one. So assassins make it negative. Do they? No, they add still to it. What's a negative doing in there? It's just weak, I guess. Fuck. Was this the first time? Let me see. So I'll probably do this one because I can probably win this one. I failed twice already. So watch how easy. I won't even. See, oh, 53%. That's pretty high. The next time I would only need like 2 of them. You know what I mean? That's to make like as fair as possible for everybody. To try to get somewhere with it. You will get somewhere with it if you play long enough. You might not be like, when you look at it in the long run, you'll be like, I could have done better flipping burgers. But I mean, you can always speculate that the value in the game is going to go up a lot. Like, you know, like what's it called? Axiom Infinities. Axie Infinities. Okay. So let's see. Helpers. This is in the top corner. 13. Team size. So I can drop it a little bit, I guess. But I want to get some experience to some of these so that they can have more, or when I finally do put them on okay, let's see. Let's get this guy up because he'll make more than, like, you notice how these salary 1, when these are 3 cards combined to get 4, right? It's kind of incentivized, right? Now, can I stop talking? Oh, I want to do something. Mission XP, get more experience. So I'll take this piece of equipment. Is a recorder. Allows a leader to retain and reuse knowledge and experience. So you'll get mission experience, basically. That was just a long way of saying. Okay, everybody loaded up. I can put 1 more. Use anything though. Of all the people I'm training with, like, fuck. Shit, I have to wait a minute and a half. Well, anyways, all that would have happened was it would have said 16 minutes or something like that to find out the results, or you could pay a little bit of realm to have immediate results. Now, I think in the long run, later on in the game, I'm not going to have a reason to do that, but in the beginning of the season, it might be okay to do that. Like, it seems a little bit frivolous, but if you only do it to get launched. All right, that's it. This video is over. This shit is called Realm NFT.io. On the Wax blockchain, you can fund directly through a credit card, I think, if you want to do that. And hopefully later on, like, see what happens is I'll end up getting more NFTs than I thought I was going to get. And if that's the case, right, then I would be doing the same thing that I did with Office Coin, is doing a gift. Just like counterintuitively, seemingly, like, to get more activity on the chain and just kind of drive the economy a little bit better. If there's more people, it can't, you know what I mean? It's like, it could be taken to the extreme. It could be irresponsible. But I keep it to a minimum. Maybe like help out, like with where the activity on the blockchain is. You can see that they're active. It's no problem to give them anything. Somebody who's just gonna like sell, or that's not I can't do anything with that. I can't really do anything with that shit. It's not wrong. There's nothing wrong. You know what I mean? You don't have to want to check in on them all the time. But somebody who's like in one of those small countries or something, like those people are kind of useful as far as getting a lot of activity going and stuff. Getting decentralization, getting I mean, you might think it's not much or anything at all, you know what I mean? But it's kind of like mystique, you know what I mean? It's kind of like at some point in time, I'm like confident enough, I'm like, okay, here we go, and then something happened. Like it really do take place. Like it really will. Like a couple times, like a project will just lift off, you know, and it's like say, okay, everybody, you're lucky. Like okay, and, you know, it's a hype and hysteria, and then dies down, you know, fatigue and everything. So those are kind of saving grace, because if you want to put all your faith in something like this, like anything can happen, like it can go away. But if it has momentarily die downs, like then you don't grow too fast, and it can't be too hard to de-riskify than it is for somebody like, I don't really have a team to put on this kind of stuff. Otherwise, I'd be further advanced on other chains, you know? Like, there's gonna be only so many people that are gonna be already established on so many chains. And I'm procrastinating things that I don't necessarily need to do if it's not a play or a move right now. But you know, it might have been, but there's only so much you can manage to at the same time. So I mean, I'm on like four different NFT chains. Wait. Gala, Wax. I don't know if you count Hive. Something can start on Wax chain and be its own thing. You know, like Steam or something like that. So I guess you could say, I don't know, like I would say 3 or 4, because I don't really know which one of these projects is going to be its own chain. You know, being on Binance Smart Chain is not its own chain, so I don't count like Alien Worlds or anything like that. And then anything that becomes something out of nowhere is probably going to be a huge bubble, even if it's only resonates a small bubble on the larger scale. Like if you're there for it to crack off, like, and it's not always good to be the early adopter, but I think in the tech sphere, it's actually a good thing. You don't want to be the first early adopters. You want to be a little bit late.